A few weeks ago, a group of MHS students paid a visit to some of the veterans at Richard's Coffee Shop on Main Street. They told them about their varied experiences in the front lines. These are their stories.
My name's Art Rogers. I was hired by the University of California to be on the Manhattan Project, and that was at Los Alamos in New Mexico. I had been going to school to be an engineer in New York, and I was hired in New Mexico by the university. When I started, I worked on the inner components of the bomb, and as time went on, I transferred to Livermore, California. And at that point, I designed photographic systems for them. And one of the things I did was I'd go on most of the events in Nevada. There they would test not only the bomb, but the conditions that evolved from it. They would check the radiation flow by the winds. They would test the vegetation in the surrounding areas and so forth to get an idea as to the safety of for the people that might be eating the produce from that area. They sent me to Winfield, Louisiana, and I worked in the Cary salt mine. For about 3 months, we were going down into the mine, and we were drilling into the salt quite a distance, almost down to the plates. We put a .2 kiloton bomb down there, and that's a very small bomb. It was exploded, and the salt encased the event. It made it perfectly safe. Now what they did with that, they have essentially a sun in the earth. And what they did with that is they built a hydroelectric plant above, and today it lights up southern Louisiana.
My name is Robert Randall. I'm a Vietnam veteran, served in Vietnam December of '69 to November of 1970. I was a courier for our brigade headquarters. What a lot of people don't know is that for everyone who was in combat, there were 8 or 9 people behind him, such as cooks, mechanics, clerks, and so forth, that helped support the combat veteran. I was one of those. I was married at the time, and the experience that I had in Vietnam was worth $1 million, but I wouldn't give a nickel to do it again.
And became an officer in the Transportation Corps. Spent a year at Fort Rucker, Alabama, and then I got my orders for Vietnam, which I wasn't too happy about, but I didn't have much choice. I ended up in the Central Highlands. I was a horticulture graduate at NC State, so I was just really enthralled with how pretty the country was, and the trees, and the flowers and the shrubs and everything up there. That was when I first got there. It turned different after a while, but I was a Transportation Corps officer, and we were stationed in An Khê. We were running convoys from An Khê to Quang Yang and back up to Pleiku on Highway 19. It was, I mentioned that about how pretty a place was, because pretty soon after I got there, they started spraying Agent Orange on everything. So they, 200 meters on each side of the road, they sprayed Agent Orange so that the VC couldn't hide, when they were wanting to ambush us. So I served my country as best I could and came back home to Mooresville, North Carolina. Got a job at Davidson College and worked there for 40 years and retired. And now this is my home, Richard's Coffee Shop.
Well, I started coming into Richard's Coffee Shop in the year 2000. He said, we're not going to celebrate Veterans Day. We're going to have a whole week. So he took started a whole week of bringing in memorabilia and veterans coming in and started the signing in. I've been trying to get in as much as I can ever since.
I have met some of the most fantastic veterans. Some have been in combat, some have been wounded, but everyone has their own story, and it's just a remarkable place to come to.